Aloha and welcome to the Ryan and Oki Shauna Oki Great Ideas Competition 2025. And today is the finals day. Welcome everybody. A very good morning. We want to recognize Ryan Uki, who is here with us today, who's the sponsor for the Great Ideas Competition. And yeah, thank you for being here. And I also want to recognize our wonderful judges, our wonderful panel of judges present here today. We have Justin Reber, Michael Morris, Minerva Uehara, Kate McClellan, Cameron Crowther. Please give them a wonderful round of applause. Thank you so much for being here and for all that you do. And we also want to welcome our 10 finalists for today. Give them a wonderful round of applause as well. They have been preparing for this day and you deserve it. Good luck and all the best for your presentations. I'm here to also give you guys announcements for what you can expect. We're going to have each presenter come present while they also will have their presentation slides at the back over here. They will be given 8 minutes each to present. This will include their presentation time as well as their Q&A with the judges. You will be given a 1-minute warning and a time warning, and we will move on to the next presenter after that. That's everything for the announcements. We will have one person over there for the timer for the presenters, and we'll have Shunma right here to help the judges know when the time is over too. Yay, and I also want to recognize our wonderful team, the Willa Center team who's been working for this for a long time. So thank you so much for all that you do. Thank you so much for everything. Here we go. We're gonna have Maya begin. Before we begin with our first presenter, we're gonna have Maya give us our opening prayer.
Our dear, kind, and gracious Heavenly Father, thank Thee for this day. Thank You for the opportunity for us to be here together and for our finalists, and please bless them as they present, that they may have confidence and be able to answer the judges' questions. And thank You for all those who have prepared for this and who have helped and supported along the way. And we say these things in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Buluvinaka judges, I am Shalini and this is my husband Chopenda Kuyao, and we will be presenting our idea called the Utoni Vanua, which means breadfruit of the land. In Fiji, hundreds and thousands of breadfruit grows everywhere. It is part of our meal, our culture, and our identity. But unfortunately, tons of them go to waste because we do not know how to use these resources. And so, what if the solution to all this problem was already growing in our backyard?
Fiji imports 95% of its wheat, so that pretty much depends on global shipping. Breadfruit falls to the ground, rots, or given to animals. Not because it's useless, but because we don't have the processing system for it. Our goal is to bring breadfruit flour into the picture.
So, our solution is simple. It's Utoni Vanua, a sustainable, gluten-free breadfruit flour made in Fiji. It's 100% natural, gluten-free, high in fiber, and culturally rooted, but most especially made locally with Fijian farmers. This is something we really want to address on because there are so many unemployment opportunities, there's no employment opportunities in Fiji, and so this is something that we would like to give back to our country. We want our youth to have jobs. We want our women in the houses to have jobs. And this is something just small that we would like to address on.
Our target market is going to be urban families that are looking for healthy meals for their families. We focus on restaurants that want local-based food. We'll also focus on resorts and hotels that want Pacific food with them. With this, we can cover both the household and also domestic uses.
So basically, we would like to partner up with 30 farmers in Vanuatu and Viti Levu. So these are the two main islands under the fair trade contracts. And so to stay lean, we want to use solar dryers, small-scale milling, and share industrial facilities with the two major milling flours in Fiji, which is Punjis and FMF. And so this will help us reduce the cost to 40 to 50%, giving us immediate access to their safety food programs, to the machinery, and to their packaging.
Can I ask a really quick question? Does Fiji import any dried breadfruit now, any flour like this now?
Currently in Fiji right now, no. So our business idea is the first movers right now in Fiji.
Is breadfruit dried ground flour elsewhere in the world?
Yes, here in Hawaii.
I was going to say, it's here in Hawaii, right?
Yes.
Is it, and it's not being shipped
No.
to Fiji at all?
No. If you go on Google, you can search it up, and on the shoppings, you can buy it off here from Hawaii. You can buy it from another country where they get it shipped. But in the likeness of Fiji, no, there's no flour that's made from breadfruit and being sold anywhere else on a commercial scale.
You mentioned two processing plants, FMF and I didn't catch the first one.
Punjis.
Have you had conversations with them? Do they have the capacity to, thank you, can they handle additional work? Would you be able to work with them or is that just a thought at this point?
Currently, at this time, it's a thought. Okay, we are looking to work with them because they are the major ones in Fiji that have the facilities that we do not have. For our idea to be a success, we need to link up with these bigger companies for us to venture into it. And the future, then we'll be able to process and buy our own facilities from them.
Any sense of what that facility would cost?
Yes, so it's going to cost more than 1,000, and we will need more than. So our startup cost is 20,000 Fijian, which is 10,000 US dollars. We currently have that, and we're focusing on that amount of money because for that we'll be able to buy the equipment, which will help it grind down the breadfruit, and also to keep the equipment running in the long term.
Machinery used to grind other kinds of flour, rice, and things like that. That can also be used for bread, or is it a different kind of machine?
It's the same machine. What we're going to do with the breadfruit is we're going to dry it using the solar, and when it's dried, we can break it down into small, softer particles like the flour. Even though it'll be not the same context, but it'll be the same solution.
So basically, we want to blend it with the wheat flours. So I think 20 to 30%, we've done research, and it shows that it gives that soft texture and the mild flavor and grace moisture that people love because sometimes even if you add yeast, it might not, go up. So we're thinking to like blend in with the wheat flour just to see how it goes.
Question about just the agriculture of breadfruit. It grows very well in Fiji, very well. What's the time to harvest? Like from the time, like, is it something that it grows really fast, or is it more like a pineapple where you get one every 18 months?
Okay, with the breadfruit trees in Fiji, it's a plant that fruits every year all round. So there's no specific month that we'll have to wait for it. It just keeps going and going. And to answer your question, there's no specific time that breadfruit has. We have to wait for it a few months. What happens is they always fruit every month. And so if you have a big tree, you have an estimate of getting more than 20 breadfruit from that single tree.
So I actually bought breadfruit, the flour, to be able to do things. And I know I even follow a young lady online. She's amazing. She's really funny, and she's able to do that. But I know that there is definitely a market for it, but what I wish I would have seen is just a little bit more research into actually making, because changing the culture of somewhere where they're so used to a different product to something where it definitely is healthy and beneficial, and I love all of that. But I see that you guys have an amazing idea, and I think I just you guys would have actually made something so we could be a little bit more also how you plan to market. And I think you know who your target market is, but I just wish you knew more about the product of different uses. Because I think I asked you, you guys have never actually made anything with it, right? Like, other than, yeah. And I love breadfruit too, so I just wish you guys would have, because bought some, I know they have them here in Hawaii, and then you guys would have made a few recipes so you could be more understanding of the product that you're trying to sell. Also, I think that would also allow you to know how you plan to market, because the other logistics, I love the husband and wife team, and no matter what happens, I want to make sure that you guys continue, whether you win or not, to actually make this viable, because nutritional value is great. And I think creating jobs is going to be amazing for your island, and the team, husband and wife, you just can't beat that. You guys are amazing. Thank you.
Along those lines, could you tell us about your go-to-market strategy? How are you going to get this to your customers? How are they going to find out about it?
So we've designed a test validation plan where we'll have a trial run with like families and bakeries and chefs, just so they can test it out and see not if it's not only sustainable but also delicious. Thank you.
Good morning, churches. Imagine this. You come to a new country, new culture, new language, and new rules. Nobody understands your language, and you got lost. And one lady comes, and instead of saying,
Ủa em cần giúp gì không?
she says
Do you need any help?
in English, and she leads you to go to the hotel. Now you feel relief and direction. That's exactly how Vietnamese families and couples feel when they talk about money. They don't know how to do. They don't know how to communication when the conversation related to money. And so in our research and survey, 91% of people don't know exactly what they do, what they spent in the past, in the last month. So that means it leads to 3 serious consequences. They have the credit card debt. They affect the stress of the families, and it's actually break the trust, love, especially when it's come to like illness or medical cares or anything about like job loss. And also the negatively thing is like affect on the children. And the children also have money bad habits. And we also really understand that because we actually grow in the families in Vietnam. And that's why we come to help the families to understand from overwhelm stress to shared goals. By offering the videos, lessons, and also some real-life scenarios like that, like planning for having a baby, maybe planning to buy a home or supporting families. And also, when we research, is that more than 90% of the companies right now, they only focus on individuals or focus on women only.
This business ideas is from what we learned here at Build Your Way about self-reliance and how to build strong families. When we did the research, we figured out that the coaching program in Vietnam only focusing on individuals, some are focusing on women, but nobody is focusing on couples or families, and that makes self-reliant money different. Our pricing is competitive. We earn from subscription and coaching. For the subscription, we charge $29 a month, which include video lessons, tools, and access to the community. Break it down, it's just about $1 a day.
Sorry, let me just jump in because we heard a lot. I love what you guys are doing. Absolutely, I think it's needed and it's definitely something that I think people would benefit. But my biggest thing is how do you guys plan to market? Because I think you guys have a great product. I think you guys have everything you need. But now how do you get this amazing product that you guys have to whoever your target market is, right? How do you guys plan to get that? And then where are you planning to focus on? I mean, I know who your target market is going to be, families, women, on there, but how do you plan to get that to them?
We want to focus on 3 things for that. Yeah. So we do marketing, and then the main thing is that we do is for YouTube. We post on Facebook and also create the videos on TikTok, YouTube videos, and then also Facebook. The second thing that we do is ads, targeted ads. So we have buyer persona. So it's help us to specifically to target for our ads. Like for example, like where they live in our home, in our city first, and then how many children they have, what language they use, what is their incomes. That is targeted ads right now. So social media can help us with that. And then the third way is like we connect with the influencer in Vietnam. And this is really the good channel for us to reach out with more people.
So on one of your earlier slides, you had a lot of different kind of product lines, basically the video lessons, the community, various different things. What do you plan to start with, or what do you think you have to have at launch, and what might you add later? Or do you have to have all of it at launch?
So in order to launch our business, so at the beginning, we wanted to start with a couple mode and also the online community first is for subscription. Because we know that a couple mode was like start for the coaching in the future after we graduate. So for the lessons, so because right now I'm a TA at Build Your Way for the course like personal and family finance. So I understand, and then really important how to apply for the principles to go to like from the program here to come back to Vietnam and apply for the Vietnamese life. And because we understand how the lifestyle there. And then also we start with that, and then the second thing we will start is for the workshop for the online, for the couples, young couples. That's why we come here to seek for the 3,000 fund.
Talk to me a little bit about how you'll build all this and help us understand the costs. So obviously you need an app or some sort of platform to deliver them. You need to develop the videos and the content. You need to market it. Then you need to retain customers, and all of those have costs associated with them. Can you walk us through briefly the financials you need to get to revenue?
So this is the funding requirement. So what we need is basically the equipment, software platform, the operational expenses, marketing, promotion, transaction fee. So that's all of the thing we need. Like we need the laptop, smartphone to, because it's just 2 of us to run this business. And we use the tools like Canva Pro, CapCut, especially school. We're gonna upload and create a community on school. And also, as you can see, we have the marketing promotion. We use mid-time influencer, and also we're running ads on social media.
Sorry, just one follow-up. The marketing and promotion is $500 for how long? So that's typically a budget that will grow over time. How long does that $500?
That is 2 months.
2 months?
2 months, yeah.
Thank you.
Just really quick, I know, just more of a suggestion. I would love for you guys to also try to network so that you guys get more in touch, like people who actually have money or will be having money, like graduates, people who are graduating who will be having money, or maybe not therapists, but people, couples problems, because that's the #1 reason why people get divorced. I would like to see a little bit more networking, like boots on the ground, so you can grow your product as well.
Morning, judges. My name is Sebastian Delamos. I'm from India. First thing which I wanted to talk about is about NIOS. NIOS, what is NIOS? I just wanted to briefly talk about. So many of these students, many students in India, we struggle to have an education from a regular school. Many of us come from a slum. Many of us have poverty line. We have responsibilities to take care of our families. And NIOS is one of the schools for us, is to give us an opportunity. For me, education was one of the most important things. When I was in my regular school, I didn't do well. I used to fail in every of my classes. I was called a failure. Every class I had to repeat. I have to sit with smaller kids of my age. I couldn't do it because my mom couldn't afford it to put me in a tutor. I was devastated. But when I moved to, until an age of 17, I was only in the 7th grade. I couldn't do anything. At the age of 23, I got married. With my help of my wife, I got the support that I needed, which is through NIOS. I started to finish my 10th grade and my 12th grade. After that, I did pathway through the help of the church. I had the support, I had their guidance to help me out. And I'm here. I'm thankful for the missionaries who all helped me to be right here. Their influence has given me a lot. The problem which I want to talk with NIOS is because I studied in that school where we didn't have teachers, we didn't have regular classes like how we have here. All we had was just given us 6 books, like whatever subjects we had. We had to get that books and we given a date to come and give our exams. We never had a regular teacher, we never had a regular class. Many of these students struggle the same way. We don't know what to study, we don't know how to study, we don't have the guidance of a teacher. We don't know what syllabus that we need to start with. The first thing what we do is look into YouTube, but it doesn't show us what we need to study. Many of us have this problem. Our solution that we came up with is using an AI tool for these students. When I started to come here, I had one of the professor, his name is Austin Pack. The way he showed AI can be used influenced me that I can use that to help these students. We don't need a teacher, they don't need any kind of a sustainable class. We are going to use AI as a tool for 10 weeks where we're going to show them what AI can do, how AI is used, and how it can help them to simplify their education.
I'm sorry, can I interrupt and ask you a question? Yes. Tell me about NIOS specifically. You have a contract with them, they pay you to teach students?
So they don't pay us. We are planning to do a subsidy with them, which is $2.75. They don't pay us yet, But what we are trying to do is we are trying to connect with them to make the education more affordable and more easier for people, students to understand the education system. Right now, the education.
What's the process you have to go through to get a relationship where they will pay
So
you?
the first thing we are trying to do is we are trying to connect with one region in New Delhi, which is one of the capital cities in India. So that's the school I studied with, and I already have the network set up with it. We already have a prototype that we have sent it to the region, and they are pretty much impressed with what we are. The only thing we are working right now is the 10 weeks plan. The first week, how we're going to prepare them for NIOS, because these students, they don't know what AI is.
So go back to NIOS for me.
Yes.
What's the remaining part of the process for you to get approved?
So
what has to be done?
So it is approved for us. We know, they know what we are going to do. It is approved, and we're going to start that as soon as we go home. That's the first process of it. As soon as we graduate, me and my wife, our first step is to go meet them and start with the process of the first class section. So we're going to start with at least 1,000 students for a month. Each month we'll have different breakdowns of students to understand about the AI and how we can make their syllabus more easy to.
So walk me through how
Yes.
you get 1,000 students. What does that process look
Yes.
like?
So every time a student enrolls into an NIOS, they come to for an admission. These students will be charged $2.75 to us for learning the syllabus of AI. So this is like there are more than 400 million students in one region itself. There are 47,000 students to 87,000 students who come for this exam, which is one of the most important exam to finish a 10th and a 12th grade. That is something which is, we don't need marketing for that because it's necessary to have that education in India.
I apologize, I'm
Yeah.
confused about how you get students. They sign up for an exam from NIOS? and
Yes, they
because
do.
you're a partner with NIOS, they get assigned to your school because they live in your region?
Yes, they do.
Is that the process?
Yes, that's the process.
Okay.
Is NIOS normally free for them?
No, we do need to pay us an admission amount for the books and for the exam date that we give. So the cost of it is around 500, which is around $5.85 for the exam date that we give and prepare ourselves for that with the books they give us. So apart from that, there's no any kind of an extra class fees, or they don't have any extra tutoring fees or anything for that.
So the $2.75 per student, the student's paying that in addition to the.
Yes, now they would be paying additional to that, to the admission, plus the $2.75, which will be $7.80 for the overall with the AI classes which we're going to give them.
So they would opt into using this app.
Yeah, yes,
Yeah.
they would. So we are trying to create this app with mobility, where we are trying to make it more affordable for them, where they can use it anywhere, anytime. First thing, we want them to know how this AI generation can help them in simplifying the education, because they don't know how to use a ChatGPT or how to prompt it to give them the answers. First, we need to take them step by step to help them understand how it can help them with the education.
So this app is at $2.75 per student per month?
Yes, per student, yes.
Per month or for that course?
For that course only.
Oh, for that course, however
Yes.
long it takes them?
Yeah.
So you guys have the prototype, right? Have you been able to actually do a test market?
Yes,
like a sample group? And then if so, great. Tell me a little bit how that went, and then what ages are you trying to focus on?
So for the school, there's no age limit, sister. They have to be above 18 to, they can be up to age of 60, because it's just an open school which is flexible, where anyone can, they just have to come and learn themselves and give that exam. So we did a research market on a survey with one of the students in India, where we asked him to take a test, which is a listening test. Pretty much he did well. First thing what he did is like he copied all the questions, put it in the prompt. He understood the answers with his own language. And when he understood it with his own language, because we have the language option also given, so at that point, he was able to read it, and then when he listened to it, he was able to answer the question. So pretty much it worked out very well at the first time. Any other questions?
We'll see how quickly you can answer. I think you're out of time, but yeah.
Hello. Aloha family, my name is Jackie. I'm the founder and soon-to-be CEO of Sunshine Laundry Services. Today I will be presenting a business that solves a real everyday problem for millions of Filipinos, while also operating in one of the fastest growing service industries in the country. So, in the Philippines, we have a problem. Over 65% of Filipino families still wash their clothes by hands, and we have limited living and drying space. Our solution is our washer, commercial grade, large, that can have 21 kilograms of laundry alone. And Sunshine, we offer speed, cleanliness, and convenience while keeping costs accessible to every families. The market, self-service laundromats are one of the easiest and lowest risk small businesses to operate. Even small spaces can earn well. The demand for laundromats grows by 10 to 15% yearly as more families transition from hand washing. This shows how ripe the market is and why now is the perfect time for Sunshine to enter. The financials, my monthly estimated fixed
Could
cost.
I ask you a question real quick? I was a little confused by what you just said. I thought, if I heard right, you said 65% of the people still hand wash?
Yes.
And yet, or in addition, then this is one of the fastest growing businesses. Lots of people are putting in laundromats. Lots of people are going and making that transition. What does competition really look like, and really how do you separate yourself? If this is being done in other laundromats and it's a fast growing segment of the market, what makes you different? How can you be competitive?
Thank you for the great question. So it's growing because it's highly in demand, even though there's many laundromats creating. It's still not enough. We're talking about millions of people in the city. So what differentiates me is my store will have free Wi-Fi. I have chairs and tables where people can just chill, and it's fast. It's just 2 hours. In just 2 hours alone, you will have wash and dry clothes.
Is any part of your value proposition the size of the load, or how much they can do? Is it doing it less, or is it just you get Wi-Fi? Is there any other part of the value that's a differentiator between you and all the competition?
Good question. So other laundromats, their maximum kilogram is 7 kilogram. And per kilogram, you're gonna pay 80 cents. But mine, it's just one load, and it's just one fee, and you're gonna have 21 kilograms of load. So you wash and dry clothes more, and it's cheaper.
So what would the cost per load be with you versus your competitor? Just to help us understand, would it be like 40% cheaper with you and faster? Something like that?
Yes, 40% cheaper and faster.
Am I a good guesser?
Yeah, because 7 kilograms alone, it's gonna be $5, but mine is like 21 kilograms and it's $8. Yeah, so it's more than 40%.
Price that you said on there, it seems to me too low, $2,000. Is that coin operated, or how are they going to do it?
Yes, it's coin operated, even it's card operated and QR code.
So they can do all three?
Yes, we have that option.
Okay, because we've looked into doing a laundromat, which is the best thing, but I know coin operated is almost, because you have to do industrial, right?
Yes.
It's actually more like 3 times whatever the normal cost is. But the repairs, that's one thing is, you're going to have to be repairing these. Are you guys ready for all of that repair?
Yes, we're going to be partnering with our in-call technicians. So it will be a regular machine check.
You have water and electricity listed as fixed costs.
Yes.
Depending on the volume of business, wouldn't those be variable?
I agree with that.
Okay.
But my machine alone is like 5 machines and 5 wash and dryers, so I estimated it as a fixed cost.
Okay, so talk me through, talk me through the cost of electricity and water there then. Because to me, those seem like significant variables on your bottom line depending on how busy you are.
Yeah. So my goal will be, for those 5 machines, my goal every day will be 60 loads. And it, um, it will give me a monthly revenue of $14,400. Yes,
So is your calculation for power and water based on that 60 low
yes,
calculation?
Okay.
yes. And for my profit margin analysis, my profit margin will be 71.20%, and my annual profit will be $123,000. My break-even point will be 519 loads per month and 17 loads per day.
How important is physical location for success of a laundromat?
It's very important.
So how do you figure that out? You already have a location picked, or are you looking? And
Yes,
and
I
how
have
do
a
you
location.
scale? How do you grow?
So, good question. I already have a location. I will start in that location when I go back home in April, and my growth will be I will optimize that existing 5 machines, because people line up just to get their laundry done. But I will be more efficient. I'm gonna be in a scheduling people so that they can just go when their schedule is. And for my medium term will be for 2 to 3 years, I'm gonna expand to 10 to 15 machines. And for long term, I'm gonna be opening multiple branches in nearby cities and partner with dormitories and condos. And of course, my sustainability plan is to adopt energy efficient machines. I'm gonna be partnering with universities, condos, and dormitories. Because my area alone, we have 3 major universities and condos.
So when you say partner, that's where you intend to put them physically?
Yes.
I love the idea of being able to schedule. That's huge. As a
Yep.
as a parent, as a business person, to be able to know that at 2 o'clock you can go in and you will get a machine for an hour, and that's a really, really good idea. Plus the pick up and drop off, people are lazy and we're busy and we don't care, but we also don't want to stink. So that's a really good feature that you'll
That's
have.
what differentiates me from other laundromats.
Yeah, it's a really good idea.
Talk to me about down days. So brownouts, down days, you don't have power, you don't have electricity. How have you calculated how many days you think you won't be operational in a month?
Hey, Justin. Good morning and aloha. My name is Takai Takanen. I'm from Kiribati. Growing up in a remote island, experiencing slow, unreliable, and costly internet is one of the main problems that I have growing up back home. And that's why I came up with this idea that um, that that I believe will help these guys, or maybe help people back home to access more of the internet. And then about 150 population approximately, and 15% only people that are only connected, and 85% that are not connected at all. So the question is, why would be me would be the one who implement this idea to, or bring this to back home? One of the good reasons that I found out that I have skills, I have experience, I'm an IT major, I have working in a part-time job here at BYU at the IT department. Have those skills to apply when I go back home, help my families, my community where I'm from. So this is the plan. So I will start it off
I'm sorry.
targeting.
Can I interrupt you? I
Yeah,
just,
sure,
I
sure,
just
sure.
have a couple questions.
Yeah.
So if I understand correctly, you're going to take internet and deliver it to remote regions of your country or these islands
Yes,
that
exactly.
don't have access to internet today.
Yes, those remote islands we'll focus on. And then the Starlink that I mentioned earlier by Elon Musk, that's the main product that will help these guys to gain more access to internet.
Can you walk me through the delivery system?
Sure, sure.
So Starlink shoots you, then what happens?
So yeah, so here's what is our product. So I applied to be one of the distributor back home to represent my country to sell this Starlink so that they can I'm sorry. So yes, so the Starlink.
You've gotten a contract, or you've been approved by Starlink to be
Not-
a reseller.
Not yet,
Not
not yet.
yet.
Yeah, in the
But
process.
you've applied.
Yes, yes, exactly.
So you can resell their stream.
Yes, yes.
So technically, what do you have to do to deliver it from the point that you get it on the main island to a remote island? How are
Yes.
you going to do that technically?
So we're planning to sell like I mentioned earlier, we're mainly focused on the schools, business, local business, and some people they really need it. And that's the number that I will going to focus on, about 300 to 500, the maximum market size that will per year, annually or the year. So that's the price. I will have 55 times the 500. That's the amount will give me for per year 25 and 500K. So this is my the competitors right now. I only have 4 competitors at this time, and I found out that some of these guys that they don't have what I have. Like, I mean, there's some lack of them. Like, for example, these guys they only focus on the main island. Mine will cover all the islands.
So let me see if I understand.
Yes.
Okay? You tell me where I got it wrong. You need to become a licensed distributor for Hyperlink.
Yes.
Your plan is to go where no one else is going.
Yes.
What's the cost to get there? So there's probably some kind of licensing fee to keep your license with Hyperlink, I assume. I don't know. Tell me if I'm wrong. You need to build some infrastructure on these islands, and then you need to sell it. Talk me through the costs of that, both the marketing of it and the infrastructure necessary for you to get the Hyperlink connections where they need to be.
So yes, that's a good question. So I'm gonna walk you through this one. Right here. So in back home, you have to register in the name is like CCK, one of the ministry. You have to register in order to sell those products. And then after you register, you can sell those products whatever you want. But this is the plan that I have. I'm going to invest the 45K to start off from the scratch, and then expected the return of investment by 20 to 30% by the next 3 years. And then this is something that I will going to focus on. We're going to use this social platform to help us to kind of just to advertise and promote this by giving more help to people to stay connected with us. And we're going to use this TikTok, because I think everyone using TikToks, Facebook, Instagram. And I also create a website. You can check it. these guys can do access to a website, a free hyperlink, and then they can find out what we are, what we can do to help them. And
Sorry, quick question.
yes,
I just curious about the process, you know, for you to be certified to be a distributor,
yes.
right? What are some of the criterias? Is there a certain money that you have to have in a bank, or do you just apply for it? Do you have to get approved?
Sorry.
You know, he was asking about, you know, what would you have to do to get certified to be a Starlink distributor? Can anybody do it, or do you have to have a certain amount in the bank or certain qualifications?
So that's a good question. So, like I mentioned before, everyone can be a businessman. So you should have to you should follow the regulations and stuff for the government. And that's how you can help you out. Once you register, you're fine. You're okay to do your work. Does that answer your question? It makes sense?
I have a
Sorry.
question about
Yes, sure.
the business. Can you go back a couple of slides? You had some information about $25 a month or $55 a month. Is that what schools would be? Are they leasing the Starlink kits from you, or are they buying the Starlink kits from you?
This one, right?
Yeah, affordable modular plan starting $25 a month, premium $55 a month.
So this is the first start. This is our, like, how do you say, like opponents before we, the first customers. We're gonna start off with 25 discount, and then later on we give you the 55 monthly.
Right, but what does that buy?
What was that
What
again?
does that get?
Sorry.
All right. Good morning, Judge, and aloha. My name is Longotawa Vanitele, and I'm from the beautiful island of Tuvalu. This is Manava Eco Renew. Oh, sorry. The one. Technical problem. This is Manava Eco Renew, where we turn plastic waste into affordable and durable furniture. In Tuvalu, there's a lot of plastics, right? And most of it are burned or export or buried underground. So Manava Eco Renew, we take the solution, or we take the problem and turn it into a solution. We recycle this plastic waste and then turn it into furniture that the people or the community can use. Our process is simple. We just take the plastic waste, clean it, shred it, mold it, design any furniture that we think that it can sell, and then we also do free delivery to the customers. Okay, let's watch a video on how we transform plastic waste into furniture. We take this plastic, we shred it as I said. Most important thing is to clean the plastic, make sure there is no sand or any soil attached to the plastic. We mold the plastic, and after we mold it, we press it down into sheets. When they're dry, they're solid enough. We design any furniture that we want to sell. Right here in the video, you'll see this is one of the coffee table designed out of plastic waste.
Who's doing the work in the video?
Oh, this one, sorry. So the work on the video is two brothers from England. They're already doing this recycling business from their backyard. And so I asked them on YouTube to use their video for this project assignment for school.
So you're doing something that's being done everywhere else, just not on your island?
Yeah, not in Tuvalu.
Okay.
Okay. Our competitor, as you can see also on the screen and here right in front of me, there is no one else doing this recycling plastic, turning it into furniture in the islands of Tuvalu. Our main competitor are the woodworkers, right? And the thing that we win this side is that the woodworker also import their woods. to design the furniture. And that costs a lot of money as well.
I know it shows $55. How did you come up with that price?
So for production, when I was doing my research on how furniture will cost to make, our furniture costs about $20 because the product that we use the resources is free. It's plastic waste. So the labor, including the machinery and every labor cost, will be $20, and then we'll sell it for a profit of $35. That comes up to $55 for the product.
So why isn't this being done now in this island? Why isn't it being done?
Because I believe nobody want to do it, right? They see it as a problem, but not a solution.
What's the process and the cost for collecting the plastic waste?
It can be free because we want to partner with a local community for waste management and also to community cleanups on the beach and also the island. But if we have to hire people to collect plastic waste from the dumpster, that will also cost a little bit. For example, we'll pay them $20 an hour for each employees. So we'll hire maybe 5 people for a total of 3 hours, and then we'll be able to collect some of the plastic
Will that include their car? Would they have to bring their own car, or would you guys provide them with a vehicle?
Yeah, we'll provide them a vehicle.
How much is the machine that does all of this shredding and molding and things like that? Is that a very expensive machine? What's that start
Yes. The machineries are really pricey. Right? For a big factory company for recycling like this, it can come up to about 80 or 100 grand. Right? But since we are starting in Tuvalu, our market is really small. The island scalability of the company is really going to take time to grow. So we want to start small. We want to start with micro hub that we can develop on the island, train employees how to do it, and partner them with the right people so they can continue to grow.
So what's the price of that machine?
So if we want to start small with a budget or the capital to start off our company small is about 35 to 40 grand.
And how long does that machine last? Like, what's the life of the machine?
So the life warranty is 3 to 5 years, but the machineries depend on the maintenance. It will last longer than that, about 10 years. So we want to start off smaller with $35,000 to $40,000, and then we also want to buy. So that money also include the spare parts, right? So that we can do maintenance along the way for the period of 5 to 7 years.
So I'm convinced, I love that you have such a low cost of production. The supplies are largely free, the machinery and the labor is really the only cost. Talk to me about the furniture market, because this business is a furniture business.
Yeah.
Talk to me about what the need is for stools and tables and how they're going to sell.
Okay. So before the mention earlier is that waste problem and also classrooms are not finished. Okay? Preschool kids sit on the floor. So that is our first target market for the first year. Okay? And also, we want to finish those furniture, and we also did a survey. That's the most important thing. We did a survey. We target the teachers, preschool teachers, and also the kids, the primary kids. And then from the 100 people that we surveyed, okay, I'll change to the slide. Okay, right here. Okay, so 82% prefer local-made furniture, okay, and 68% prefer recycled product, only if they are affordable and available immediately. Okay, they don't have to wait for the long process of getting the furniture. Did that answer your question? Thank you. Okay, so environmental impact of our business idea. Okay, we're gonna help reduce burning waste in the islands of Tuvalu. Okay, 13.6 plastic kilogram. That's about 500 plastic bottles will produce one of these two. And in the first slide, it mentioned that 600,000 kilograms annually it's processed in Tuvalu.
So one quick question. If it's being burned now, how is it collected? Who's burning it? And do you see them as direct competition to what you're trying to do?
Okay, the government is burning it because they own the land, the dumpster. But 40% of the plastic, they already shredded, and they're waiting for shipping for overseas for recycling in Japan. Okay, so that's all they do. They shred it, they leave it in their warehouse, and they're not doing anything until they have money to send it out.
So have you had conversations with the government about becoming their partner?
Yeah, I had a conversation with the director of the waste management, Ebu Falengai, who's also my uncle. But all right, we talked about this, and they have tons of bags of shredded plastics, but they're not doing anything to it. Right? They wait until the government say yes, they ship it out. But when they ship it out, it costs a lot of money, a lot of resources and time as well. Thank you, guys.
This is Sakai.
Aloha, my name is Fatima.
And my name is Bella. 11 million children in the Philippines are not attending school. 32% of them cited transportation as the main reason of this long-term absence.
This is why our business exists. We are all about providing safe, reliable, and comfortable tricycle transportation services for students in underdeveloped area, especially in Barangay Tabogon, Philippines. So our business model is focused on having structured route system for smoother operation. We'll be charging students for a student monthly pass for $15 a month and a discounted family pass for $25 for 2 kids. And each additional child will cost $8 more. For a continuous revenue during school breaks and summer break, we'll be renting out our tricycle to the local tricycle drivers for $40. And Tabogon is the perfect place to start this business. Other than I grew up there, I know the community, and I know the culture, the routes, and the daily challenges that we face. The area also hosts as the only school within an 8-mile area, so all the other schools are very far. And other than that, there are over 3,200 students that goes in that school, and 2/3 of those use tricycle as the main transportation. Also, when I was in high school, I had a classmate that had to walk over an hour to get to school, and sometimes during rainy season, he would miss school because there's not tricycles that goes around his area.
So we tested the community. We've done our research in the community of Tabogon, and over 74% of the students we surveyed said that they want to switch to our service, and they are willing to pay the price that we offered. The drivers also showed amazing feedback. Over 63% of them said that they want to be employed by Sakai as well. So we will create a new market, so we will capture our competitors, which are the local tricycle drivers, provide a stable income of $50 a month for them. And then this is our new and improved website where anyone around the world can go on, sponsor a child to get to school safely.
This is our tricycle model that we will purchase from a local manufacturer in the Philippines. It can carry 8 students, and it is covered from weather conditions. Also, for our operations and logistics, we'll start by a safety inspection before and after the ride, just to make sure the integrity of our vehicle is in the right condition to run. We'll also be collecting payments through GCash, through online, and in-cash payments through Sakai's office, and we will have our new and improved ID card as identification that student can use for the ride.
Sorry, can I ask you a question real quick? Is there any opportunity to provide service beyond school transportation?
Yeah, there is. Especially in the church, I feel in the church community, where I live, there's no church, so we always have to travel 30 minutes and catch the bus. And most of the time, the bus goes by increments, so my parents would always rent a tricycle to get to the church. I feel like that's another way to get church members from the community, at least in our church.
Could it also be used while the kids are in school? Could the driver also be just taking people around town? Because if it's only used in the morning and then in the afternoon, there's the middle of the day, there's potentially 5 or 6 or 7 hours even, that could the driver use it for other things?
Yeah, we've thought about that idea, but the thing is, for now, we want to focus with children, getting them to school. I think that's an opportunity that we want to look at in the future, especially Tabogon. We only have one hospital there, and the next hospital is like an hour away. And other communities, first they go to that hospital because it would take them 2 hours to get to the next hospital. So that's something we've thought about. But for now, I think from my experience, hearing my classmates like, oh, gosh, I'm late because there was no tricycle that stopped by my office. So we want to solve that first because that's what I heard and grew up with.
But when the kids are in school and no one needs a ride anymore, could the tricycle be used for taking people to hospital?
We'll rent out it to the
during the
driver itself, but we will not basically cater like, hey, we're gonna charge you. We're just gonna rent it out just for now. We haven't really explored about that, but that's something that we would definitely consider in the future.
Question. I am not familiar with how the law over there is, but do you guys have to have some type of insurance to be able to run that? Okay. And that would also cover things like in case of an accident or somebody would try to sue you. I mean, I don't know if that culture is like that, but can you tell me a little bit about that? And if that, I'm sure, was also included and how you're planning to price, right?
So insurance in the Philippines, especially for tricycle insurance, it's really cheap. It'll be $7 to $15 annually for one tricycle. But in our policy, it will cover any accidents, repairs, hospitalizations. So it has like a full list of like what it will cover. And then as far as training, we've also priced that into our model as well. And then, yeah, so we'll rent out our tricycle during summer breaks and Christmas breaks just for extra profit.
Is there any opportunity for geographic expansion? So not just more time during the day, but can you grow this into other areas?
Yes, so, so we want to expand to these 4 other areas. So there's over 30,000 children in that one area. Tabagon is right in the center, and that's where we want to expand, eventually to the whole island of Negros, and then to the whole country as well.
But yeah, for our marketing strategy, since most people if they don't have phones, they don't have access to social media. So it's gonna be partnership to local communities like schools and local youth organizations such as SK. We believe that we can get this partnership because other than I grew up there, I have strong ties in the community. I know that and also the SK chairman currently is our family friend, so I have been talking to him lately. And the school, I think I made a reputable image to the school, and that really boosts your connections with the people there. So, and for our financial projection, if we start with 3 tricycles, we will be able to earn over $13,000 by year 5. That's with our regular pricing of $15 a month, and with 72 students, we can break even by year 2. However, we also made an assumption for the family pass in case that 50% of it came from our family pass, which is at a discounted rate, and 50% from regular customers. Will earn a little bit lower, which is 14% lower, and we can break even by year 3. But however, if we get this money through sponsorship and donations.
Time is almost up. Just, I forgot to ask you, what is the competitive analysis? How much are other students paying to be able to get a ride like that?
So we talked about that a while ago for our market analysis. We made a survey for students. They are currently paying around $10 to $20. So our pricing model is just in between those range.
Is your 25?
That's for 2 kids for a family pass.
Oh, okay.
For 1 kid's $15. But yeah, if we get sponsorship and donations from nonprofit organizations, we know that we can boost their margin and also as well as have a greater impact to the community and hopefully the rest of the rural areas in the Philippines. Thank you.
Okay, aloha judges. I am Joy, the founder of Pure Flow. As we may recall, This summer, I went on an internship for a hygiene product manufacturing company where I learned more about hygiene products, and I started to dig deeper on female hygiene products used by millions of women every single month around the world. I identified several problems with the traditional pad, specifically in the environmental and also effects on the woman's health due to harmful chemicals. With that in mind, I partnered with this supplier, with the manufacturing company, to develop a biodegradable pad that's also naturally made. Your question may be, does it work? Yes. With our current sample, with our latest prototype, it is 80% biodegradable. For the certification, it only needs to be 80% biodegradable, but I am committed to continue working on the last layer so that it may be 100% biodegradable and offer a product with integrity to the customers.
Okay, so it's biodegradable and could be 100% biodegradable, but what about comfort and what about absorption?
Yes, so we are also undergoing international certification. For us to receive that international certification, the product is lab tested in a lab, and it has 10 items criteria, which includes absorption, moisture retention, the stickiness of the pad, comfortability, and all of those things are tested, and the regulations must be met in order for it to be certified.
So what are the comments, because I think I asked you, you said there's already women who are using the product, right, to test it out. What is their feedback?
Yes, so the women that use the product have explained that it is actually like a normal pad. It traps and retains the moisture, but at the same time, because it doesn't contain those harmful chemicals, it's normally pretty sensitive and can cause allergic reaction. So because of this, it has actually alleviated some symptoms such as cramps.
So you mentioned the testing process. Can you tell us where you are in that process? Is it done? Did you pass? What do you have to do to finish?
Yeah, so currently, since it is 80% biodegradable, we want to continue to test. There's 5 layers. The first 4 layers are biodegradable. We're working on the last.
Oh, I think he was talking more about like the absorption and that.
Okay.
Like in the test, you said that it's being tested. The
Oh
10
yeah,
criteria.
so the absorption has all passed the criteria. So it's actually certified in China right now, but we want it to be internationally certified so that we can scale the business.
Who would be your target market? Like what region would that be?
Yes, so actually, since our supplier is in China, we plan to start in the Asia Pacific, and the reason for that is actually the female hygiene product market is mainly, like the majority of the market is in the Asia Pacific. It's 35%, and since the market has grown within the past 3 years, 32% of the market growth is attributed to the Asia Pacific region. So with our sales as well, since we are mainly, our business model is through online sales, so our sales platforms will be focused on Alibaba and Shopee, which targets the Asia area. So this will help us to start concentrated and small and also have consistent sales revenue flow.
And the price point compared to other products that are similar to yours, where are you guys at?
Yes, so I actually got off a call with the supplier last night, but it was after the slides were due, so I will report the updates here. So when I created the slides, I was under the impression that each pad would cost $1.50 to make, but since we have machines and it's been optimized now and automated, it's now only 15 cents per pad, and with that priced at $12 per 10 pack, it actually still gives us a 75% margin even after we calculate the distribution.
What's your competitor price per pad and price per pack?
Yeah, so competitors, when it comes to similar biodegradable products, they're all priced around 12, 15, or even higher. And then when it's the non-biodegradable, just like the traditional pad, it's priced average around $9. So we would be competitive both within the eco-conscious environment, but also within the normal hygiene product market.
Wait, sorry. So I know you said earlier 15 cents per pad for the biodegradable, right?
Yes.
So per pad, just to compare apples to apples, what does that look with the same similar products? How much would that be per pad? Would that be 12 cents?
Yeah, so this manufacturing company, since they have been doing pads for over 40 years, so then for a regular pad, it's 5 cents. So it is more expensive than the regular, but since they are really efficient and an experienced manufacturer in China, that's what keeps the prices low still compared to competitors.
Can you describe for us your relationship with the manufacturer? Like, who has rights to the pad? Is this something you own? Did you license it? How's your relationship with the pad and the manufacturer?
Yes, so when I was on this internship, I became close with the CEO, who is the supplier. He's actually a BYU alum, and I actually got close to him by showing him my pitches from previous Great Ideas and Empower Your Dream competitions, so he understood that I am very entrepreneurial. And he actually offered me that if I ever wanted to start a business in the hygiene product market, that he would be my supplier. So we are currently writing up an NDA because I actually want to start this after I graduate. So with that written agreement, it will help with the relationship as co-founders because this will be my business and we were working on the patents and everything, but then at the same time, he is helping as the supplier and making this happen. Okay, let me continue. So with the competitor analysis, there are around 12 brands that are similar because they also offer eco-conscious or organic pads, but all of them are either 100% like the packaging is biodegradable but not the pad itself, or it's made of 100% organic material. So we are the first to market and the first actual biodegradable pad, which is why we applied for a patent. And in addition to biodegradable pads, in the market, some people use like cups, but actually in Asia, pads are much more common to use than cups. And also, actually, the Diva Cup company reached out to collaborate with us. So instead of seeing them as a competitor, we see them as more of a collaborator to help boost our sales.
Talk to me about your distribution plan. So you need to be where they are. You wanted to do most of it online. How are people going to find you?
Yes. So for our distribution, we are actually planning to have a lot of those collaborations, not just with the Diva Cup company, but there's another company, the Girls Company. They specialize in products that help alleviate cramps. And then along with that, we plan to do campus partnerships that allow students. I talked to the supplier, we're going to offer students free samples for them to help with advertising and to help promote on campus. But we're going to focus through digital marketing because this will significantly help lower the cost of sales. And our operations and logistics have a very clear flow because
Melody, I'm Tamake Crosso,
And my name is Tabari Manipope.
and we are the founders of Melody O Farm. So, Tapueran is where we cannot locate our business, and we already mentioned yesterday, this is the greatest island that we have. Even pineapple can grow on this soil. But, growing up on the islands, we have been facing this ongoing issue because our life here are so dependent on the shipping that bring our food once a quarter.
But to make matters worse, when shipment delays, prices go high, families go hungry, everything is expensive. Even the hotels or the tourism specifically, they rely on this fresh produce consistently, but they're not very consistent, actually. So this is not because like the land is poor, but because we're lacking like resources, and that could be experience, experts, and also financial supports.
So I was blessed to return home and do my internship where I was able to sit down with my local leaders and focusing our effort on finding the solution and on how to help this issue. But
instead of focusing on the shipping, I asked these great leaders, what if the solution is beneath our feet on our soil? That's where we come in. With the full support of the government, they offer us this massive piece of land with the hope that we are going to build our own food security.
Define full support of the government. What does that mean? Do you own it? Are they giving it to you? Is it a lease?
So right now, they are planning to give us as a lease to make this reality. They cannot wait.
And how long is the lease? Is that like a 99-year lease, or is it?
So, for example, these islands in the Lines Islands are owned by the government, and they lease them to everyone that gonna do business annually.
So it's an annual lease?
Yes, so you have to renew your annual payment. If that helpful.
So would there be something prohibiting them from perhaps you starting up the farm and doing well, and they take the land back and they say, we don't want to give you the land, and then they would take over the business?
Oh, no, so that is the system that I'm talking about. We pay like a rent, so we pay the lease each year. But for the contract, we're not yet coming to that point of how long we're gonna use this land.
The reason why we say like the government is giving us full support is because to get these lands is not that very easy, because it's owned by the governments. They have plans for it. But because we're using it for the sake of, for the people, and also to optimize the opportunity for the governments for their Kiribati vision for 20 years, where they're going to promote Christmas Island, the Line Islands specifically, as a tourist destination. They see this as an opportunity and also solution for them. That's why we mention it as a full support by the government.
Have you guys had a chance to test the soil? Because I know every soil is different and whatnot. And I mean, even though I have everything, I still kill everything. So which one of you guys would have the experience to grow?
So for right now, we've been working with the results that have been carried out, because many people have been going to Kiribati and tested all of our islands, and we find out that every plants that we cannot grow in another part of the islands can only be grown on this island. So we taking that as a good soil.
So what kinds
so
of
far.
things can you grow? Is it only fruit trees, or is there like taro or?
Yeah, we can
root
grow any
vegetables?
type of crops: taro, sweet potatoes, pumpkins, watermelons, anything, any plants that eatable.
How much food can you grow?
So the land is 22 acres, and for our plan, we're doing like beds, space for these plants to grow. So each will be categorized in each of their own type of plants or crops, and we're doing it by like 5 acres per 1 year. The reason why we're doing this is because 22 acres is already big for us. The only way to manage this is by having 5 workers to do it. These people are experts. They have experiences for it.
How much of the ground, I remember from your presentation, you're going to be growing and you're also going to be raising animals, food animals, right? How much of the ground do you intend to raise animals on, and how much do you intend to farm?
Okay, hopefully I answer your question.
Did that make sense or not?
Can you repeat actually the question?
So the government's going to give you a certain amount of land.
22 acres.
22 acres. How many acres will be used to raise animals, and how many will be used to raise crops?
Oh yeah, perfect. That's perfect. So for us, we're looking at 5 acres for the livestock, because we're doing it for the chickens and also for the pigs. The other 5, it's gonna be for the crops. So it's evenly outed because we only gonna be working with 5 people only. That's why it's comfortable for them to manage that many.
So you're
acres.
starting with just 10 acres of the 22?
We only started for, yes, 10 acres at a time.
And who has the expertise for the farming? Farming is hard.
Yes. And with that question, we have our government support. Oh, yeah, so we are working with government and regional institutions. For example, we're going to work with the Ministry of Agriculture and also the Live and Learn. This is the new institution that just come to Kiribati, and they've been tirelessly helping people to train on how to grow food and even offer free seed to everyone that interested in planting. So we're going to work with these organizations.
Will you have any expertise on your staff?
Yes, because for them, we're going to train, so we don't just grow food, but we're going to grow our staff, we're going to train them, and we're going to empower them to take ownership of their skills and the beautiful land we have.
Quick question, because I know I'm sorry. How long do you think you could actually see until you see a profit from the time you acquire the land until you actually make money?
I do believe that it's already well needed at a time like this, because Christmas Island is already spreading out word for visitors that wanted to visit.
No, but from the time you grow something until you could sell something.
Ah, okay. Thank you.
I think we're just going to go for 1 year, and that's where we're going to try, and then after that, we will start to supply food for Christmas Island. That's our main target.
To grow the plants and then to give it out. It takes
Imagine your child or a family member does not have access to education. That is unfortunately the reality for millions of families in the Philippines. And in Pasig City alone, there are over 36,000 students who are eligible for special education, but only 1,500 of them are enrolled. Now, we cannot depend on the government because they currently lack funding for special education. And most importantly, these organizations that are available only provide for children. So what about the adults? That's why we're creating Solution Spectrum Support. Our program will focus on adults ages 18 through 27. So for our ratio, we're going to be having 15 students and only 3 teachers who are SPED certified, and we identify this ratio because it's a standard, the United Federation of Teachers, and we're going to be adding more teachers if it's needed and if they need more resources, including according to their need. So in the program, we'll be focused on 3 things: life skills, vocational training, and emotional and life support. So for vocational training, they'll be learning how to shop in the grocery by themselves. They'll learn how to obtain job skills like cleaning and cooking. And then for emotional support, we'll be allowing them to have the space to make friends and socialize with others their age. So for our income statement, we're looking at a projected revenue of 118,000 with 30 students. And these projections are based on, our expenses are based on real numbers from our existing parents' private school. And then our net income for the first year is 38,192.
So what's your capacity to take students now?
So we're looking to occupy 2 classrooms, 15 students each, with 3 SPED teachers each.
Can you walk me through what growth looks like? Do you anticipate growing? How would you do that? What would it look like?
Yeah, so we have 3 phases in the first year. We're going to be partnering with our parent school. And then on the second year, on year 3 for the second phase, we're going to be partnering with other schools in neighboring cities, including Mandaluyong, Quezon City, and that's where on our 3rd phase, year 5, we're going to be expanding and making our own dedicated center from our retained earnings and eventually catering to children. But we're focusing first on adults because it's an underserved market.
Can you tell me about you guys' background? How do you plan to contribute to the business that you guys will be starting?
So my name is Chevy. I am an elementary education major, and I already have some hands-on experience in a special education classroom. I also grew up helping in my parents' private school. During the summer when I was younger, I would they have summer classes. I would also go in there and be a teacher's aide along with them.
I also worked as a teacher's aide during summer, and I also work as marketing for our department right now in business department. So I can also work for marketing for this. And I'm Cayenne. I'm currently a media production specialist, a videographer, and I also manage our school's website in Discovery Integrated Academy. That's our parents' private business. And we all just been actively helping in our family's business. And then we noticed that there was a need. We keep on getting calls asking if we currently provide special education, which we do not. So by partnering with our parents' business, we already have a leverage. We have a market. We already have calls, people calling us, and we don't have to market as much because our family's school is already a trusted business in Pasig City.
Well, may I ask, why is it that your parents haven't started it, since there's a need for it?
Right, so that is why Chevy is taking special education right now. Just as soon as she graduates, we're going to be launching this business.
So how do you attract students? How do you find them? How do they find out about you?
We're allocating 10% of our sales to marketing using targeted Facebook ads because Filipinos, they scroll on Facebook, and that's the best place to market ourselves.
And do you have any experience doing that?
Yes, actually, that's how we're getting regular students, so we're just going to be implementing the same process, but targeted to special ed. So our competitors in Pasig City, there are currently no SPED centers that are providing for adults. They're only providing for children, and they in fact charge $390 a month, while we'll only charge $377 a month, and we're going to be providing this service to adults, which currently there's none in Pasig City. So we have a huge advantage here. So to even reach our break-even point, we'll just need 16 students. And our startup costs are pretty low because we're partnering with our parent school, and we'll just be renting 2 spaces. And we'll only rent those spaces once we have confirmed enrollees.
What are the opportunities for you guys to scale, to open different locations? Is there a market in other places? And then how far would that be for you guys, and difficult to manage those locations?
Right, so we're going to be partnering with other schools in neighboring cities, and to manage that, we'll be hiring more as we grow.
Is there an opportunity to be partnering with any job training organizations or nonprofits or government entities that does vocalization, job training type of thing for funding?
Yeah, so we'll be teaching them basic job skills, and we'll actually be partnering with Jollibee, and then they can start learning how to work there, and small businesses that work in malls so that they can get a direct job right after our program.
So have you already identified some job skills and some placement opportunities?
Yes, like cooking, cleaning, and we'll be partnering with those grocery stores also, so they can go directly there.
And is there any government agencies or funding that could possibly help offset some of your costs, that, because you'd be reducing?
Not really, no. At the start, we saw the article that zero funding to SPED. That's why we're a private organization, and we rely on tuition.
Thank you.
For our funding.
This is such a good idea. I really don't have that many
Right,
questions.
so
It's
we
such a
identified
good
our,
idea.
thank you.
I feel like we should be grilling you more, but I don't.
Yeah, thank you. So we've actually identified our pricing. It's based on what we already charge to our current students based on our parents' private school, and we're just adding like 20,000 pesos more, which is $377 US per month. So we know that our market can afford this because it's already happening in our private school, and just increasing the amount, yeah, they can afford that. Our market can afford that.
So with offering vocational training and other resources, the intent and the hope of everyone who studies with you is going to be to have a job when they're done.
Not necessarily, more like they could be independent. Because I know special needs adults, they still need instructions, like how to go about their day. They need specific instructions. So just teaching them vocational and life skills, they know how to navigate through life and integrate better into society.
Okay.
That was wonderful to hear from all of our finalists. Thank you, and you did a wonderful job. Thank you. And thank you, judges, for the time and everything. We are going to have the awards presentation at 1 p.m. and it will go on until around 2, and then lunch will be provided for the participants after that. In the meantime, we're going to have the judges' deliberation, and you can wait or you can leave and come back at around 1. Thank you so much.